Hey everybody, this guy 4 here with my video review on the Transformers animated leader class Earth mode Megatron. So here we have him in his alternate mode. I'll just give you a real quick 360 of the alternate mode real quick. As you can see, he has some of his like little jet engines right here. So there you have it. Obviously you can tell it's a helicopter mode by these two propellers, which if you actually rotate one of them, the other will rotate as well, as you can see there. And while we're talking about the gimmicks, I might as well show you the other. Here he has his cannon right here. If you it's already cocked, but if you push this trigger down here, it'll actually fire the missile, which will go flying very far, so I don't think I'll launch it just right now, maybe later in his robot mode, because it's on a very tight or powerful spring, and it can easily be lost if you're not paying attention. So I'll just show you a real quick size comparison to the Galaxy Force Optimus Prime, which I put up a review of him last night, but I didn't mean to, so I'll get to this guy later. And here you have him without his trailer. And as you can tell, the animated Megatron is just a bit longer. So I'll just go over his color scheme real quick. As you can tell, it's primarily gray, black, and red. You'll see some gray featured all over the main portion of the helicopter. You'll see red, translucent red featured on the cockpit. And if you actually look inside, you can make out a pilot seat. You'll see some metallic red featured on these two tips right here, just below the cockpit, on the tip of the cannon, on the lining right here, on these sections right here, right here, right here, right here, and right there, as you can see there. And you also see some red outlining the black circle on the propellers. And speaking of black, you'll see black right there on the cannon, on the landing gear, and on the back of the helicopter mode, and outlining the translucent red cockpit. Then you'll see a darker type of gray on the sections right here, and a metallic silver featured on the blades of the helicopter's propellers. So my overall rating of this mode is it's a definite 10 out of 10. It's a very great looking mode. It's definitely a good change from the other Megatron alternate modes that we've seen lately, such as the movie mode, which is just a Cybertronian jet, and the two Deluxe and Voyager figures from the animated series, which featured the Cybertronian fusion fighter mode. And before I get on with the review, I did forget to mention one other gimmick besides the propellers and the cannon. If you go to the bottom of the helicopter and you press this Decepticon symbol, you'll get some lights and sounds, and you'll actually see that here. I don't know if you could tell, but lights are flashing in the cockpit, and you can obviously hear the helicopter sounds. So as I said, I'll definitely give this mode a 10 out of 10, and I'll just get on with the review. So its transformation is pretty basic. First thing that you'll actually want to do before you start anything is remove the propellers and put those to the side. Then you'll grab the bottom of the cockpit right here and remove that. And as I did that, the main portion of the cockpit actually lifted, which is part of the transformation. So I'll just go ahead and grab the cockpit right here and lift that up like so until it reaches that point right there. Then you'll flip the figure like so, grab the sections right here, and rotate those out, or hinge it out, and rotate those panels right there, and fold those against the leg. You'll separate the leg, and do the same on the other side. Then you'll fold out the feet like so, and we'll do the same on the other side. Then you'll go to the back and grab these sections right here, fold those inwards, and grab the wheel and push that in. The same on the other side. And there you have Megatron's legs fully transformed. the next thing that y'all want to do is go ahead and grab the arms right here, fold those down, open up this panel right here and fold out his hand, and close the panel. Then it'll do the same on the other side, and fold that, rotate his arms, and then you can actually push in the arms into the sides of the torso, and that will lock them into place. And there you have Earth Mode Megatron in his robot form. So in the show, obviously he's the Decepticon leader. He's very powerful and very deceiving. As we've seen in some episodes, he's actually tricked Optimus Prime into helping Megatron to escape or whatever else he needs. And yes, he's also a very great leader. His followers really stay true to him, except for Starscream. So I'll just show you his gimmick, which is featured in the head, where if you press the Decepticon symbol, you'll get some lights and sounds, and his eyebrows will actually move, and so will his mouth. Show you that real quick. And the lights will actually flash in his chest, in the linings, and in his eyes and his mouth for a few seconds. I'll just show you the basic movement. As you can see there, you see his eyebrows and his mouth moving. And those are the 3 sayings that he actually contains in his memory chip, and it's pretty cool. So we'll just get on with the review. For his weapons, I'll show you the cannon real quick, which you can actually attach to his arm like so, just by pushing it on and rotating up his arm. And there Megatron has his G1-esque cannon. And the way you fire that is by pushing a trigger, which is located right here where my thumb is, and you push that backwards. And as you just saw, the missile actually fired out pretty quick. As I mentioned before, he has a very strong spring in his cannon. And the way you reload his missile is you go ahead and grab the missile right here, stick it inside the cockpit, push this tip of the cockpit like so, and then grabbing this and pulling it like so. Then for his katanas, both of them are the exact same. You grab either propeller and flip it to the other side that the other one is on. Then you grab the handle, which is folded inside there, and fold it out. And Megatron can now hold his katanas. I prefer to make Megatron hold both katanas just because it makes him look more like a Japanese robot, which I really like. So there you have Megatron. And I'll just pose him real quick in a pretty basic pose. As you can see there he is crossing his katanas. So his articulation is pretty basic. I'll just take out his katanas real quick. Actually, I can do it with them in there. His arms can rotate that much, like in that direction, and that much down. His arms can bend at the elbow with a nice locking joint, and his fist can actually rotate, as you can see there. Next, his head doesn't have any articulation due to the gimmick. His legs can move in and out from the body on a nice locking joint. They can move forward and back, and they can bend at the knee. His feet can pivot up and down, but that's just part of the transformation, not really part of the articulation. And that's it for his articulation. So I don't have any problems with the figure. He's pretty much exactly perfect in this mode. I definitely like it. And before I get on to the size comparison, I'll just show you the real quick gimmick, where you attach the headmaster to his head. And for some reason it's not working right now, but as we all know, it would say total ownage. Maybe I'm not plugging in right or something, but that's what it would usually do. Too bad this thing doesn't transform because it would be totally awesome. I don't really like it though. I'll just show you a real quick size comparison to his movie version. And as you can see, the movie version is just a bit taller. So I would definitely recommend this guy. I rate his robot mode a 10 out of 10, so he's definitely a 10 out of 10 figure. If you can find him like me at Toys R Us, definitely pick him up. I also saw those Universe Legends figures and Robot Heroes, no deluxes, unfortunately. So yeah, he's definitely awesome. Cool robot mode, cool alternate mode, cool gimmicks. So definitely pick him up. He's definitely worth a search.